involved with it already.
Oh.
I'm not gonna yell. Give it down to all of us. Please repeat to your cell phone to the meeting adjourned. Pledge allegiance by Mike and the prayer by Mr. Gerald.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reach that.
In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, amen. Our dear Lord and Savior, by your cross, death, and resurrection, you redeemed the world and set us free. We now have faith and hope that on our last day, we may have the same faith of your resurrection and spend eternity in heaven. All of us we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, gentlemen. Sort of all everybody here. Approve the minutes of July 6, 2026. I move to the Mike. Second by Nancy, is that correct? Second by Nancy. Any question one time? Two times, three times? We're going, Jody. Aye. Nancy.
Aye.
Mike. Aye. Kip. Ron.
Aye.
Mayor's report, council considered introducing an ordinance amendment section 23270, holiday and non-working day to include the federal holiday of Juneteenth. You like that? Recommending add this holiday list.
I'm over.
Move by Kip,
Second.
second by Connie. Any questions? Mr. Gerald.
Committee total holidays within the town.
When I say that louder?
Yeah, the mayor don't get it, deal.
That's it, okay, very soon.
So this is just to introduce the ordinance, so we have to schedule a public hearing. So don't need a motion, y'all can schedule a public hearing.
All right, any other questions? Well, Jody. Aye. Nancy.
Aye.
Mike. Aye. Kip. Aye. The mayor report to discuss abandoned vehicles in town. I got, company got the town, who looked at the town, I have an ordinance like, there's a total of 92 abandoned vehicles. So, if you have relatives or, we have a book here, there's a big, we have a book here, we ain't want to take a copy of everybody, take a lot of paper. So, you don't mind going through it, with the family members also, see what their things are. Next meeting, we'll send out some letters. Like we did it a few years ago. I think there's a few of them, there's 92 of them there. Yeah, so we'll give the opportunity, if there goes somebody, we'll save some time, send some letters. Yeah, you're right. I'll find it 60, I think it gives.
It's 56, but you're not adding a sheet in here.
Thank you, Kurt. Okay, next, Mayor discuss long drives in town. There's 92 lot, property in town that has long drive. That's a lot, I'll see what's in, where I pass, I'm sure there's a lot of places in town that don't pass. There's 92, same thing. If you go some more that have long drive, don't tell them, but they're going to go out this week, not, someone is not supposed to be aware of. Like I said, it's not a popular thing to say that to people, but we have a job. And it was really good guy.
And I did talk to some of them, I'll see if there's some of them cut, some didn't yet. We just have to make sure the ordinance is ordinance 503, it's gotta be over 10 inches.
We've done that, we let them know. Yes, sir.
And I'll talk to some of them.
This one, it's also, it's a road, you don't know the guy.
I mean, you know, way, when there is, I mean, the way that is coming a year department, you know, I mean, that's not yesterday of a long drive. I mean, I get people work this and that, but, I mean, that was, the way I guess, the reason I'm really saying something is, that was the town crew that had to pass every street to get to that number of zoning. Besides, I mean, Mr. Gerald, we kind of tweaked the ordinance, it made it a lot easier to turn to me.
Have you read the ordinance?
Yeah. I mean, I'm
You know, you can do it too, and the mayor and everybody.
It's all one at a time, nobody's talking.
the 6 I had on here to turn into neighborhood, I ended up dropping the bucket to 92. But just to say, you know, the reason I'm seeing something, the way I'm looking at this, is the town crew had to take on one of their daily duties to pass the streets to make this list. Then the girls in the office are gonna have to make these letters, and we're gonna have the expense of registered letters or chief ladies crew delivering them, however, you know what I mean? It's a kind of a ripple effect. You know, that's all I'm trying to say here, Chris. You know, there's 92's a lot. We could have all, I mean, I'm just saying myself, I mean, like I said, I had 6 to turn in today, but that's nothing compared to 92. You know what I mean? In a way, it's on all of us, and hate to be the bad guy, like the mayor said, it is what it is, it's gotta be done.
Let's understand. Let me read you some of the ordinance. Any, the mayor, one of the police department, any councilman, any designation, you can go up on their property and report that. If someone calls the town hall, says, I'm reporting on that, all I gotta do is say that. All I gotta do.
So like I said, like I said right here, I had 6 right here to turn in this morning when I came to the town hall.
To make me, as a, go around this whole town, I don't do the day-to-day operations in town, I understand that's my department, sanitation. If somebody complains, I call them, they don't cut it, I gave them a couple of, to say, one of the well, it also says at the end of that article 503, that if someone does call, they're supposed to leave that in, but we don't do that.
We tweaked that.
It's in the order.
That's what we tweaked with Mr. Gerald. That's what we tweaked with Mr. Gerald.
No, I'm reading the order. It wasn't put in our order.
If it's in the, if it's amended, it's right in there.
But we did change.
Well, it might have been a request, not a order. All right, come back to the last one.
About a month ago, I actually go around
You
and
said, you emailed that people was complaining about grass. When you put it in, and turn in a couple of them, the one that complained, give me that address, send her that. That's all you have to do.
Hey, what I'm saying is, it's your job to go and see their,
It's my job. It's not the daily operation of the mayor. I don't do the day-to-day operation. The mayor, that we.
I did your job. I'll make it down to something.
You did my job, you did your job.
No,
You did your
I'm not
job.
gonna argue with you.
I'm not gonna wait for you to do, I know why you're doing this, to call me out, but it's not just you.
No,
Anybody can report, anybody, and I can designate anybody in this audience to go.
You can't designate nobody.
It says it in the ordinance. Ordinance is the law, yeah, this is the law. That's why I told you, but make sure it's over the because we gotta be.
George, I know what you're.
In case somebody can test.
I'm just saying that 9 property that needs to be cleaned, that's ridiculous for us community. That's why people live in a corporation area. Because it's always been clean.
It also says in the ordinance, it doesn't give, it could be any property. There's a bunch of undeveloped property in this town with trees 30 feet tall, do we have to make them
No,
cut?
that's not the undeveloped.
That's what I mean.
We know what's developed and not developed. We need to know. So let's move on.
I'm reading the ordinance, though. I'm reading the ordinance.
Let's move on to the next
Yeah,
one.
I'm-
Council consider.
I got it, next year.
So moving on.
That's fine.
Council consider
Make sure
authorizing.
you know what you're
Oh, you know, Chief, he goes one more time out of town, you get him out of.
When y'all gonna call me out.
I tell you what,
Hear me?
you get out of line one more time, you get
You're
out
not
of.
gonna do that to me with the garden, neither you kid. So you
Okay,
better chill out.
you don't point my finger at the other.
Chill out.
Hey.
It's about habit, y'all.
Jody.
I'm gonna call the law, I'm gonna do by the law.
Hey, you get out of line one more time, you're gonna have to get out of the meeting.
That's fine.
Tell them now.
Jordan, it's not calling you out, it's the truth.
It's over.
It's not the truth.
Hey.
I just read it.
I'm saying it's over.
Well, you need to tell him to
No,
shut up.
you need to be quiet too, Mr. Sherman.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
one
over.
more time, he's gone.
It's over. It's over.
You can't have it. Let's Council consider authorize Hudson to plan to perform structural inspection on 182 reported bid, 137 Washington Street, lot 1. Need a motion?
I'm over.
Moved by Kip,
Second.
second by Connie. Any questions one time, two time, three time? Vote on, Joe?
Aye.
Mike? Kip?
Aye.
All right, Mr. Tom.
Yes, sir. First one is DC 1078, 128 Greenlawn Lane. This is a condemnation here against the would-be occupant of the structure, Mr. Rachel Seaver. Operating the notice to appear was served by the chief of police on or about July 8th. For her to appear at tonight's meeting. We got an update from our CEO as to the current condition of the property.
128 Greenlawn, constructing the same condition, which recommends sale of the condemnation list.
I put stuff on the roof to block it off and on from getting, I'm going to get a permit, so I can do the roof on the roof. The rafters are real good, they're not rotten, they're old and strong. There's just a few shingles that are broken and that's leaking, but that's it. And I got the yard just about cleaned up, that's the backyard, and early to the front. The people came and picked it up twice, 2 pounds. So we were getting it pretty straight.
Can I ask y'all a question? Why would y'all wait till the end to sort it?
Because we're just learning the information that I have that's wrong on the property and stuff.
But listen, y'all been on the list for a while. Why would y'all not do a little bit work at a time, show us that y'all trying to make some kind of progress? Y'all wait till the last.
Because we had never got no list.
Excuse me?
We had never got a list.
One at a time.
We had never got a list. Or no paperwork.
It's not an issue for Michelle, she's here. It's not for him.
Right, I was there.
Okay, well, what you
Exactly.
Like when I made the file for Ida,
Come here for a minute.
when I made my claim for Ida,
Yeah, you don't have to.
and
do
I
it.
didn't know all this, and I didn't know all this. I'm just finding out that the address just lost with my information for ownership. And I got cleaned up investigating, and I called the, on the seller. They investigated me also.
I understand all of that, but y'all also need that work needed to be done on it. That was
They
his.
were looking to be, and none of that service, they're gonna get, all the work. I mean, we got money, like, to do that work.
I understand that. I'm just saying a little bit at a time, a little bit along.
Oh, I understand. I agree. But I mean, we were paid $8, and I couldn't get that one. You know, this is something like
Mr. Tom, this is, whether this is Gail, whether this is Gail there,
So,
I'm just asking.
well, I'll tell you this, yes.
that.
So we,
When the condemnation for the hearing, it should have been with the letter that was served. You have a copy of it, sir?
That was the first one we ever got.
so I know this, the first one we were going through with all the owners of the property. We did send out to the occupant of the property, and that came back as having been received with a green card, correct?
Not that one.
I take it back. But nonetheless, she got served with the chief July 8th.
That was there, like.
So-
That's one thing, like, that's one thing.
But we served them, Rick John was served.
No, I got served, but I never got served, nothing.
Okay, sir, why? You just said I wouldn't have anything to do with it.
No, I didn't say you didn't have anything to do with it, I said this hearing was set for a check. Because you had your.
I also said
No, I'm
You
asking
had your.
for them to have time to get this situation dealt with, the IRS is being swapped in ownership. I need to be put on the phone list, but I can get them help. But I never got no letter. Yes, we were taking on the that's what they got to go from my house.
Sure.
They can't take it to my house, that's how they get at it.
If, I'm reading the detail of the inspection report. At the end, it does say the dwelling is salvageable with even immediate renovation. That was a long time ago. Make a big report.
We didn't do the house renovation until when I started home. When I found out. That's when I called the accessory worker, she said, water was not on the house. Because it got switched over. When I know one did address changes yesterday, you know, so I can print it out, paperwork, sure that that's what happened.
For this letter from one of our attorneys, November 17, 2025, it was a given statement you signed for it. That was back in November 2005. You're ready? They can carry.
She told me she was gonna help me, and that last time she said something, something about getting on ownership. I called her secretary, saying she was at close. I messaged her, I got a message to her secretary, said, if I can help you, let me see if she can do it. I couldn't get her to talk to me tonight, honestly.
Again, any other questions?
No, I'm fine. I know, I thought,
Right, we got any more?
I get it, there's, the assessor's website is incorrect on a lot of restricting parcels, but really tonight's the short plan as to how, she's gonna address the items in the report. Getting the ownership cleared up or the FEMA issue cleared up. That doesn't take care of the issue of the house.
I got somebody working on a small concession stand, I'm waiting on football store, to get the rest of the kids that I didn't know. FEMA and fraud investigation, looking up into everything, you might get help, I have address with you. Fixing the house, one of the cars that moved that's missing, that was the one that's still not from the house.
Charles, excuse me. Inspector did today, with the, move them. The inspection, you inspected today?
Yeah, I haven't seen any change.
You didn't see any changes?
You could have gone and like,
You could represent.
honestly,
It's not for my litigation started.
He's representing who?
Sir,
He's representing who?
you represent the town. Town hard, yeah,
Send him get his eyes checked.
sir,
Send him get his eyes checked.
I think that's, comment that need to be said.
Well, I mean, he said nothing changed over there, but
Well,
what changed?
You're not here to insult anybody.
I mean, so much you said get his eyes checked.
I'm not gonna tolerate it.
but I am in the process of getting something together.
Okay, wishes of council. Any other questions? Any questions from the audience?
Well, what's the next step on all of these?
So the next step would be to, if y'all want to order that the repairs be made within a certain amount of time frame,
one inspection done. I mean, and it was brought up by the book, by the rules. I mean, we voted a while back on 30 days to be ended with this. I mean, I feel sorry for you. I mean, if you could prove ownership in the time that it takes us to go to bids, I mean, that's our next step. And, oh, you ready? Oh, well. And I'm sorry that we have to take the next step. I mean, because it was just brought up about going by the book, and we voted 30 days to be done with all this.
You know, everybody's been coming in and saying, well, this is the first letter I got, I never got a letter, but you know the condition of the house you lived in before you got it. Before you got it, I feel for you, I feel for you. And look, it took 3 years for, and I was insured, it took 3 years for my insurance to give me a check. So I feel for you, but it needs to be done. I knew a tree fell in my house, the town didn't have to say me a letter, like a tree fell in your house, what you gonna do about it, you know? I mean, it is what it is, and look, Kip's apologizing, I feel for you, but I'm not apologizing, we need to move forward. We need to move forward, we need to get all this stuff done.
Yeah, I mean, this cost the town, I mean, if the town don't have a job to do, they do it as far, this costs the town between $4,000 and $6,000 a month, but it comes to me. You know, and it helped us dramatically.
And putting a tarp is not an improvement.
No.
You know, you say, oh, he's blind, no, he's not blind, he saw the tarp, I'm sure he saw the tarp,
Yeah.
but there's still no improvement being done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Well,
sorry.
did you fix the house that wasn't gonna do for doors?
No, I would have left it.
I wanna make sure I'm able to stay in it. If I would be able to
I
stay
would
in
have
it,
left
I don't mind
it.
it.
If it doesn't go, the thing about it, if you fix it up, then all the heirs can come and say, oh, the house is nice, in nice shape now, I would, a piece of it, I wanted to do. I don't really get it, I would have walked away from it.
I mean, I put myself in debt to do that, and then somebody was supposed to, or I don't get it back from that man. I mean, it's like, I'm not out here.
You don't own it.
If I knew for sure it would be, that I could stay and live in it, well, even if I could live in it, it didn't have to be mine, but as long as you know what I'm saying. But I talked to my dad from Sebastian Property, and he said it was, he did that.
Yeah, like, in a way, like what Mike said, he's gonna let you fix it and then they come take it from you.
That's why I wanna make sure that I'm going to go through before I do all of it.
Okay. There's no further questions by the council, move forward.
The next step would be to order that it be demolished or repaired within a certain time frame. Because this is her condemnation hearing, that would be the next step in the process.
Okay.
I make a motion to give them 30 days to either repair or get on it.
All right. Motion made by
Do it then.
I'll second.
Okay.
So y'all gotta move quick.
You don't fix it, 30 days, and
I have everything that's on that list,
Yeah,
everything on the list.
yeah.
That's as far as we can stretch out now, then we did everything. We
They're
get this,
gonna do 30 days, and that's all.
Michelle,
That's it.
before you go, you know what's on that list and review.
I'll
All
give
we
you,
had was the roof from the laundry room, the roof, and the column.
We're not talking a tar.
You gotta.
The roof is a big leak.
You got to
Shingles
put
on
a
there,
roof.
the black paper on underneath, you need shingles or metal. And have to meet his recommendations.
I forgot this, people, for one minute, you gotta get a permit. To do that.
That's with Grand Isle Shipyard. It's very quick.
Get rid of tomorrow.
Michelle,
I'm sorry.
Not that way, you I'm not that way.
We good.
All right, there's a motion made by Jody. Need a second by Nancy. Any further discussion? We'll vote on Jody.
wait, hey,
Right.
what about the patient?
Kip.
I guess.
Nancy, I need comments.
Is it
he came, he said the one that, the blue building still standing, shed, whatever you wanna call it. He wanted to wrap it with metal, but just needs to end, guys, ladies.
It has to
He's
go
got
back
two more
to
days, so that's not, whoever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right, we'll move to next. Cover with that. All right.
Move on.
Yes, sir.
BC 1096 is unnumbered parcel on Mountain Lane. This property was condemned in May of this year. The new owner of the property bought it after the condemnation process had been initiated. Was certainly given a copy of the condemnation order, given until June 1 of this year, to prepare and demolish. On July 6th, the council awarded a demo bid to begin construction. I see there has an updated resolution.
119 Malvern, same condition, it has been in, the windows are broken out, the door is broken, and the inside is pulled down. The recommended sale, the condemnation list.
And he was also served with the notice that he had until July 26th.
Next property is BC 1097, 135 Merced Street. The property was condemned in May of this year. The owners were given until June 1 to prepare and demolish. July 6th, it looks like some permits were applied for. I'm sorry. Well, I'll just say, July, the owner applied for permits, the council, however, did accept or awarded demolition bid at the end of construction. I'm not sure the current status of the permitting process, but our CEO has an update on the current condition.
135%, the homeowner met me at the other property we talked about. This property is in the similar condition, but they'll need to fix the roof, fix the eaves, fix some steps, handrails, guardrails, all that other stuff. We talked about wanting to turn the building to a storage building. We recommend to stay on the condemnation list until either permits are pulled and everything's fixed, or it's just taken down.
They were served also the same paperwork, saying they had until Saturday.
All right. Tom?
That property is based,
This is 135 Merced Street. I received the letter to go ahead and do something by the 22nd. I had applied for a permit in May. We went ahead and turned in some stuff in June and July to have the permit proceed to do it. So like Mr. Charles said, I'd like to repair the roof, the steps, and the little bit of I'm not asking for 30 days, I'm asking for 2 weeks. The thing is, they have 4 inspections that do for the work that I have, which is wall sheeting, roof sheeting, underlayment, and they come with a final certificate of compliance inspection, which I guess we'll do in 2 weeks. I'm asking for 2 weeks to get the job permits.
I'll make a motion, give them 2 weeks to do that.
I got a question.
There's a motion first.
Okay.
We'll need a second.
I second.
Is that the first meeting in August?
Yeah.
2 weeks?
Before the 2 weeks.
August 3rd?
Yes.
Okay.
Might as well go to the first meeting, whatever day.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
August 3rd.
Give me a question.
I was just gonna say, you're gonna have your hands full with, by your residents and dealing with that in 2 weeks. You can get it done.
So let's do one at a time, let's do it.
Oh, okay, whatever. I just was, just saying.
Any other questions? One time, two times, vote on, Joey? Aye. Nancy?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Okay.
So that would be 8-3.
Yep.
all right, the next property is BC 1098, 117 Alcee Street. The property was condemned in May of this year. The owner was given until June demolition bids were initiated and received demolition bids awarded on the demolition of the property. CPO has an update on current condition of the property.
117 Elise was a carport. The carport itself has been taken down, removed. The poles are still there. He was asking to leave the poles, put a fence around. At this time, we recommend that it go off the condemnation list and go on to, because there is other debris on the property, but it's not from the building. So, that's our recommendation, is to take it off of the condemnation list. But like I said, let the county take care of the other debris on the property.
Thank you, Mr. Charles. Did motion?
No motion.
Mike, second by.
So I'm clear, so we move off of condemnation to nuisance letter?
He said it would be a different, we have to work that, but it's not in the same area. Is that what I heard?
What's the question?
My question is, he said we would remove it off of condemnation, I'm asking for the, and we
We're gonna have to
it
send
to a
a
nuisance letter?
Or can we do that now? Or do we have to put it on the agenda?
No, we can send a letter now.
We've done that in the
Can
past.
can we do that in the same motion?
Let's vote to take it off the list first.
Okay.
All right.
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Yeah.
I don't know. The nuisance would be to clean up like we've done in the past, but, I mean, look, how much time we give this man? I mean, we got a little storm coming.
Whatever the nuisance ordinance is.
You got your book, that's what it says?
I had recommended 5, change it from 5 to 15 to give the person the time to get the work done. And, the amended ordinance I read, the amendment to the ordinance that I read, it was changed to 10.
10 days to remove.
That keeps it, keeps track of stuff.
The second meeting in August, I think.
Okay. Building inspector said that it was, that's what it is. You guys have a law.
Yeah.
Still be good with it. Gerald?
Is it over this, that would be?
What, Bruce?
Yeah.
No, he brought up in the report.
But the list was called back, so the list you're talking about.
Yeah, this is really said 90.
No, that's not.
That's a different.
Okay.
So the building permit said that, what's it called?
I'll make a motion to send that letter for the,
But-
whatever the time is.
Motion made by Joe, I just want to get it right.
Okay.
Second by Nancy.
What's the time frame to remove it? Because, I mean,
It says, according to the ordinance, 16 days from the nuisance.
in about 10 days.
Can we serve it tomorrow?
All right. Indeed, so we'll go around and we'll get it served, whatever. Jody, aye. Nancy?
Aye.
Mike? Aye. Yeah. Aye.
I got, also, Buffy wasn't served, she made a condition, so you don't need to serve.
You are served for her. So it's,
That I was looking to try to serve.
Right. Right.
Okay. I just wanted to make
Your
sure.
acceptance was sufficient for.
Okay. Because they kept trying and then she left and they didn't do it again. Okay, that'll work, thanks.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you for coming.
All right, go ahead.
DC 295, I'm going to leave the money in properties to bid today in order to get to one. Through Perry Law, July 6th, council, president, demolition bids be reset, and they are due today, to be due responsible to demolition. And, our CEO has an update.
120 Legion is in the same condition it has been, I don't see any change. We recommend to stay on the condemnation list.
All right, thank you, Mr. Charles. We have one bid here from
Open it.
Mayor.
the lady for them has been on here. But I did get everything today. I don't know how
We had troubles getting some information from her. We finally got that in for the last week. So kind of just wait to see what happens tonight before we turn it into
I
something.
had an email that there was enough information and enough details.
There's not a lot of detail on it, but South Central Planning tends to know how to interpret those things. And once we get it to them, they will contact her and get the rest of the information, if they need more. She had a list of material type stuff.
But that has been done, Mr. Jean, right?
I mean, I'm not supposed to do anything without my grant. I'm trying to not get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was supposed to wait until I had my grant.
When did you get the information? Friday?
I wouldn't say Friday, but I would say Wednesday or Thursday.
We had 2 weeks.
Right, Wednesday or Thursday.
It's the last minute, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the lady is doing fine. Y'all be talking about the people.
Yeah, they go now.
Yeah, she's on vacation.
Did you already have been there?
We go in and works from home.
Need a motion to open that, but.
I mean,
Are you gonna move it? I started talking, sorry. Okay, make a motion to open.
Yeah, just keep the process going and
Need a second.
a second.
Thank you, Dr. Joey. For the questions we're having is permit. I mean, you had 2 weeks to hand in the material, it's over the last minute. How about the communication? Laura, was it vacation or something?
Anna was on vacation. She actually works in the county office. Laura works in the home office. So eventually she got it to Laura. We've been trying to call her several times. But not until like Wednesday or Thursday.
Said like it is.
Not until like Wednesday or Thursday. But she did in, because Victoria did end up, Victoria. She did end up sending it like Wednesday or Thursday.
I'm not gonna do my work. I mean,
Right, so we got a motion and a second to open the bid. How we voted? Vote on it?
Yeah, discussion. Yeah, you have, so yes, what is this one?
That was my question.
All right, take a motion, the board was Jody. Nancy. Mike. Kate. Stephen, Blue, we have one bid. Demolish and move, we had one doing these in BC 1095, $12,800, medium.
well, this is,
Nobody else gets the bid, you don't know they ever do. They go
They
to
love
the
it.
I think,
Yeah, all that done.
I think that they kind of got.
They do it out of stuff.
Process.
We want the, all right, he will accept the bid.
I'm old.
Yep.
I'll say.
Second by,
Okay, no, go ahead, second.
second by Jody. Jody. Nancy. Yeah.
Joe, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Look, we opened the bid, we accepted it, you better move quick.
I mean, I still don't have a permit.
I'll make sure it's something for my, it'll probably be weird before we get there.
Can, Ross, can we make a motion to give to the next meeting,
The next step, if we're not concerned at all with a permit, the next step would do a demolition notice and give a date that the demolition would start after that date. But the council can do that and give a date in the future where she has an opportunity to do some work. So the council can just say, get an update at the next meeting. That's up to them.
okay, this is what this is if I could.
You go ahead.
I'll make a motion to give you 30 days to get the permit, or it's gonna be torn down.
Oh, I'm just waiting on him.
Well, he said he's gonna give it to him. I just want to.
Now, him and that board, I don't know.
That's the one.
No.
Okay, first of all, John, the email I received today from your office saying you got a material list. You sent this out to the client. Also, needs some drawings, right, correct?
That's up to South Central Planning, where they actually need a drawing.
Well, you don't know such a plan once? You don't?
They don't, sometimes they're able to interpret the words and not have to have a drawing.
What's funny is, other people have to deliver a drawing and a plan. This is, we're gonna interpret it now. We're not gonna interpret it.
And what
We
they,
need to finish this. I mean, whatever the email says, we need, this council needs to know, if they have a copy. You know? I just want to,
I mean, I started reading the drawings, I didn't realize I had to do a drawing, that's why the plan was all my materials.
next time you come down, bring in building inspector, building permit guy. That's what we need now.
and they're, especially in these type of
permit
situations,
rationals.
especially in these type of situations where Charles has already given a thing, a set of things to do. If they say we gonna do those things, a lot of times that's good enough. Sometimes they do need drawings, so to be specific about what they need to do.
All due respect to you, GIS and such a plan, I don't know the right hand, left hand knows what you're doing when it comes to permit, I'll be honest with you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I have an idea, but that's what you offer for.
And
When it comes to the question, I want to do it. That's big pieces to this council. I think they need to go through the whole thing. I don't know if you agree with that, fellas.
I agree.
correct.
So this is an updated email from Lori, on 7/17. Victoria went into our GIS Galliano office on Wednesday inquiring about what information she will need to submit for her building permit. This is the third time I relayed information to her. I sent roofing requirement paperwork by email to pass along to her. This is not the only thing she will need to turn in. I have repeatedly told her to drop off construction plans addressing everything in the report for South Central Planning. She has not turned in anything in all the weeks I have been speaking with her. This was 3 days ago,
That was Friday, 7/17.
7/17.
That was Friday.
Twice.
So there's more than just material. Or building inspector or permit guy.
You're right, I didn't hear that.
Just try to verify.
So, whenever GIS turns in a permit to South Central Planning Development, that permit is issued to a specific plan review. Okay? So, and as I've said before, if anybody that pulls a permit, once it leaves GIS and it's at South Central Planning Development, they have a plan reviewer that's reviewing that. That information usually comes like that with requests saying whether they need full set of plans, they need documentation or whatever. But what that does is, once that information is being sent back to somebody, that gives whoever is pulling a permit an individual to talk to from then on. They're not gonna be bounced from plan reviewer to plan reviewer, that they have one plan reviewer. So as soon as that permit is turned in, they have one person that they can talk to directly, find out exactly what they need, whether it's building plans, whether it's architects, whether it's design professionals, whatever it is, they have that person. So once that permit goes in, that day should start right then.
So in other words, there's a material list for that email. So you approve that the material list and make a design for it and draw it? Is that what you're saying? If you don't have it?
What'll happen is if the project,
She needs to do that.
if the project is large enough to where they need to turn in a set of plans from a design professional, it's gonna be specified for it. If it's just a set of, you know, if you're changing out a door or you're changing out a wall, then you're not gonna probably need, but if you're gonna change out a whole roof or something like that, yes, they're gonna require somebody to turn in set of plans.
Well, I'm not a point of call out GIS and South Central Planning. Every time there's a permit, there's an issue. Are these people, her or someone else, they need more help than just, you know, or they need more help, more explanation, you know what I'm saying? It's not every day somebody goes for a permit.
And Mayor, this is when we had that meeting, where we had Brian there, we had Jack, we went over this because this is one of those issues to where if permit is coming to us, as Brian said, within 2 to 3 days. Once we have that permit, subsequent planning, if that information is given to us, should be taken care of.
Our turnaround time for permit application is about.
I just feel there's something missing in this.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying, John?
Yes, sir.
Would make life a lot easier for the people that's acting from it, and it might be easier to board decision. I mean, this big pieces, and they making a rock, they make a tough decision here, you know what I'm saying? We need to do, she needs to do the whole thing, this council needs to do the whole thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And we're at a point where, you had 5 years to do it, I keep repeating that, you had 5 years to do it, I mean, we're at a 99, where we're on it right now, here we go, our board.
I didn't hear nothing about, with all respect, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything, but I never, I mean, of course, I've seen it, I need to remove. Everybody knows my situation, we talk about this, but, I mean, nobody ever told me prior to, y'all put me on this.
First of all, you're not though.
No, I get it, but I
Your
just
house
wasn't
is
the
there,
person.
it should be for us to take. You already.
No, you keep saying 5 years, but I mean, in reality, I guess I'll have a lot more to do.
We're saying 5 years since the storm. Your house has been damaged for that long.
I've also had legal matters fight up in.
And we understand that, but we're not here for that. We're here for you all. And I do have a question
I
for
haven't
you.
just been irresponsible is my point of it. I haven't just tried to let this happen to my home or, you know, to disrespect anybody. I feel bad for last meeting because I did get really upset and I apologize for that.
And I did too, and I'm fixing to get more of this, and I have a question. It took you a very long time to get with Redhouse Shipyard for a permit. I'll not finish.
I'm sorry.
Tracy just read us an email from Ms. Laura about you not lacking given information. So if South Central Planning needs information from you, how long will it take you? Victoria, we're not giving you
I
30
didn't
days.
have any response from the Lord, is what I don't understand. She said, now, I talked to her twice, and I talked to a man. Now, I didn't understand what the plans were, so I went and made sure I understood everything. And then that lady wasn't there the whole time. I must have went, in the last weeks, I went about 7 times.
Ms. Maury said they couldn't get in touch with you.
And I don't understand that.
Well,
But we're not putting up with this with South Central Planning.
Yes.
You know what you have to do. You know they're gonna try to get in touch with you.
Yes.
You need to make it your business.
Mm-hmm.
And if you miss a call from them, you call them right back. Because I'm telling you, you're not getting 30 days.
No,
You've known for 5 years.
I'm not, I'm not voting for 38 like
I
I
didn't
Jody
do it for
brought up.
5 years, I mean, honestly.
You gonna
You
say,
didn't know your house was damaged for the last 5
My
years.
husband that didn't take care of it.
I don't care about your husband.
yeah, you
I
didn't.
care about you
He's a man.
and your children.
let's focus on the comparison of your product line.
But y'all want me, how would you want me to do it whenever I was,
Jody, Victoria, it's not fun to make someone there, and trust me, it's not. It gets to me a lot. That's why I give as much as I can. We come against a wall over time. You have to try to do something.
yes, sir, and that's
We
what
have to
I'm-
make a hard decision. None of us like to do that.
No, I-
You know, we gotta make decisions that we gotta sleep at night. You think we can sleep at night saying, Victoria, you have to move out your
I'm not
house?
trying to make y'all feel bad either. I've been through a lot, and I've been trying to pull my whole life back together. It is what it is, and I accept whatever y'all have to say. All right?
I'm gonna stick to my motion, whatever they don't wanna do. I'm gonna give you 30 days to get that permit straightened out and get things going, and if they want a second, then it's where it's up to them. That's my.
I'm just trying to stay humble in whatever decision y'all make.
Okay, any other discussion?
I'll say.
Second by Nancy, give it to the deeds. Okay, we're going to do it.
Aye.
Nancy.
Aye.
Mike.
permit should be in this week.
If you get the permit sooner and you got the materials and come to that meeting, let us know. You know?
Let's clarify your motion, board, just want to be clear. Get a permit and have the work completed 30 days.
Or at least them substantially started.
Okay. Just want to be clear.
If she can get the permit and get the materials and get started, I mean, it's gonna get done, I would think.
All right.
Yeah. You understand?
You say yes or no? Yes, okay, so
Mayor, yeah.
okay. Oh, you
I don't want to be speaking out of turn, but at the risk of speaking out of turn, I'm looking at the pictures in the inspection report, and the backyard looks about like with 117, I'll see, looks like that you don't need a permit. We just sent him a nuisance letter, and you don't need a permit in that. So I don't know if the council wants to consider sending a nuisance letter. I don't know.
She was sitting on a few, she was sitting on already a few months
I
ago.
did it.
She said
I
she
just
was.
pulled- I just pulled down the porch and all that, so I didn't do the.
Hold on.
If I could,
Go ahead, George, no, yes.
You wanna make a motion to send a nuisance letter, between that.
yeah,
It's already pretty much done. I just have to do it.
that's what I was gonna say,
Put it through.
because a while back you came and said you cleaned up and this and that.
These pictures are from,
This is from March. Yeah, I don't have recent pictures.
Motion made by George, another, second by Kim, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, any questions, one time, two times, three times? Vote on George. Aye. Nancy?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Tommy? Okay. You understand? We voted, contribution to that?
We're gonna give you so many days.
It's already pretty much done.
You know, what?
That's good. She said it's already pretty much done with that, that's good, she's ahead of the process.
Right.
Yeah, but she did came and say she did that already, but however,
I said we
whatever.
started.
Well, that's gonna give us the deed.
Okay,
Just to be clear, so Jody, your motion that passed was, she don't have to be finished in 30 days.
I don't think this is gonna give up any Thursday, she had, we already passed it, so we didn't.
Now, I'm just clarifying,
If the permit passes and she gets the materials, it's gonna get done. So it may take more than 30 days, but within 30 days to decide.
Show us that progress.
We're ready, we can decide any time after that, if you want.
all right.
I was just asking exactly what your motion was, right?
Okay, move forward. Good.
All right, last property is BC 1085, this is South Lake Drive. Property was within September 25, the application 783 to repair miles. 315, council these property bids, and it was sent out. Well, anyway, bids are due, demolition bids due on this property.
Okay,
Oh, I'm sorry, I see you had some.
Yeah, but it's, 2410, it's in the same condition as been. We recommend sale, condemnation list until all repairs are done or it's taken down.
My understanding is that he changed his permit from commercial to residential. And he called today to say that he had to work tonight, he would not be able to be here, he was still waiting on South Central Planning, that the engineer is finished and Lori has the information.
And that information has been turned over to South Central Planning. South Central Planning is not satisfied with that information. They don't need, they need to know if they have additional questions about it. So they are actively trying to get in touch with Mr. Sands to get that worked out.
what's the definition? Where's the building? Where's it at? What is the difference?
Nothing really.
Power, things like that.
Yeah, it's turning into a garage type facility.
So the fact that we changed it.
No, it did not change. As far as I know, it did not change.
Yeah, or the materials.
Correct. It's still the same code.
Now, what about like your structural analysis
done, and turned in, South Central Planning has some questions about it, so they're trying to get those questions answered.
Okay, you got to be here. Can motion to be voted.
Second.
Made by Dick. Any question, one time, two time, Jody, Nancy. Mike.
Aye.
Yeah, all right. Steel bid, one bid, DM construction. Demolition and removal of debris at 2402 South Valley Drive, BC 1085, $12,800. Debris will be removed from the site to the stored at a new facility. That's it. Okay.
Second.
Take my time. Question. One time, two times, three times, Jody. Aye. Nancy. Mike.
Aye.
Yeah. Tom. Aye, pass.
So, we got next is to send out the notice of demolition.
Feel like he's provided a lot of information. Oh, yeah. We're gonna set up a date for
You don't want to ask that question.
no, yeah.
So, Mr. Mayor, for what it's worth, you made notes and I've got it tapped out, that Mr. Craig will be here next month, next meeting, to discuss, they're gonna do what they're not gonna wait, but they're gonna update on these two properties that have been in discussion, and I go into
It's very important to where, you know, you come to the meeting, you get, all the T's are crossed and the R's are dotted. You know, for the council to protect the person that has the permit, you know, for both parties. I mean, and I got a discussion, so what you want, you know what I'm saying? I want to have a clear answer. Nancy?
I have a question. What does road have left to do? He came, he could open, said that, but he has to build a whole roof like he has in front of the guy.
Oh,
Is that all he has left to do? Is to build the middle roof?
no, the front roof, on that front section there, the original rafters were there, he cut them out, so his truck can back in. So the structure is not the way it originally was. So he has to provide something to the, plan reviewers on how he's gonna rebuild the rafters. Because all those rafters were, engineered rafters. Now that you cut the middle of it out, you don't have, you know, the support that's supposed to be. The back side of the roof, all that's gonna do the roof, everything underneath is fine.
How about the middle roof?
The sidewall.
Supposedly, he's gonna leave the middle open,
So
from
he
what I
can do
understand.
that. He can leave, so all this man has to do is make those rafters legal?
So listen, there's so much that is unknown about what is supposed to happen and what's not supposed to happen. I'm uncomfortable on behalf of South Central Planning saying he can do this and he can not do that tonight. That is up to planning reviewers and the guys that make those decisions, and it ain't us.
When the class of things, you know, such. Next time they got a permit, own it in writing, was in writing, but that needs to be done. All these boroughs done back and forth, now we have it in writing.
And where this particular one, it is going in writing, back and forth, but between two people that aren't here tonight.
Well, if those are not here tonight, they need to get together and do it, make it right. Maybe the wrong people coming. You know what I'm saying?
For permitting.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody has a question for me, I mean, yeah, we're not professional, you're professional. So that's what we pay on for, that's why y'all make your money at.
And
At the same time, I don't think we get the service we do, we're not getting the answer we need. On the permit side, everybody has an opinion, you got, everybody up here, we all have our opinion, it doesn't mean it's right. You're professional. Such a good plan. If the permit review come here, I don't know what to do, I feel the same way, we're at a point to where people want permit and it's a wishy-washy, we're going to 2 or 3 months, about dealing with permits, can't get a straight answer. You know, it's like an attorney, can't get a straight answer sometimes.
Yeah, I'll get ready, right? It's hard for me to understand, they keep saying, GIS can't get in touch with Bo, they can't get in touch with her. If I was waiting on a permit, I'd be begging for a phone call to come through, you know? When I don't answer my phone, it's because I don't wanna talk to who's calling.
Right.
You know, that's.
Can't get it, crashing on the system.
And part of Bo's problem in particular was because he cut those,
It's
trees,
structural, he
then-
did the.
Then he needed to
structural
get a
part.
structural engineer involved, and it
Yeah.
took him a while to find one that would work for him.
Well, the end, we didn't know him, posted right there, he's come to the council, he does not have what he needs. That's what he's figuring out.
You know, and-
I don't need to know the particulars, I don't know about y'all, but we need the particulars from y'all for the final answer. The permit, he can't have it.
I don't
And
know.
right now, we're working through Bo's process. He does
I
not,
don't-
right now,
I
he
don't-
doesn't, but he's still getting it.
I don't want to be working, that's a good example. Been working for a while,
It says several months.
several months, there's no reason for that.
No,
We gotta call a meeting, like we called a meeting all back when we started from GIS, we call a meeting. It's not fair to the town, it's not fair to the board, and it's not fair to the neighbors that live next to us.
that's what I was gonna
I
say.
agree about, in particular about the neighbors, but most of the months that we've been waiting on, we've been waiting on Bo.
Well.
And Bo's been waiting on somebody
We're
else.
waiting on both, that's what you're saying?
Yes.
So, or to make a decision, demolish. We're waiting on him?
Wait on Bo, Bo was waiting on someone else.
He was waiting on the.
Correct.
He was making the structural engineer, I mean,
But you know what I'm saying, it's,
yeah,
you just asked my question, he's not fulfilling what he has to do.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I agree, because I brought up months ago, spoke to Mr. Tom, the inspector, about the permitting process. There's no, since we went down this permit rabbit hole, there's no more quick fixes. And the permit process just draws it out. I mean, we voted, like I said earlier, we voted a long time ago for 30 days for this stuff to be on.
That's her.
You know, I mean, it is what it is, it has to be done right, I's dotted, T's crossed, and I think if the people come and explain the process, I mean, like Mike said, goals may be dodging, whatever, it needs to be done the right way, and we need to finish with this.
Sorry. It's true, you know, you need to come with a final answer. Not to have a discussion with us, you know, it needs to be done, to me, that's how it should be done. You should have it in your office, if the permit guy, whoever has the permit has questions, they come to the office. If you can't communicate with the people, you can't get nothing done. And we are depending on y'all to come here for a final answer. Hey, we should not have a permit. You know,
And we also can't demand that they give us those answers tomorrow.
Sir?
But
We
you
also
should
can't
have a-
demand that they give us those answers tomorrow.
We got 2 months.
But you should have a timeline,
No, you can't.
you know.
There's no timeline, it's what, you know, Mr. Jeremy, hey.
I would have a suggestion from the GIS engineers and with South Central Planning, that the town has them designate a person, one person, to handle the town's permitting process. South Central Planning and GIS. That way there, you can hold some accountability if you do.
There's always a little thing, right? Yes, sir.
Yes, I know that, but if you have a designated person, this person's going to handle the town rules and the permits, you're the man.
You're the man.
John,
We know to the courts.
can it be, Joe said, either you or them, if you don't give them information at this date, permit denied. It's
Exactly what it is.
permit denied.
I mean, you know, Bo is a good example. You know, I mean, we don't want the next one to be that way, you know what I'm saying? It's just not fair to all of us.
Maybe we'll.
We should be further than this, you know what I'm saying? Now that we're good job of the definition, that's not fair. I'll be calling, yeah, in the morning.
Maybe we'll be voted for.
Stay for 45 minutes before my question. But, okay, that's my, you know,
Maybe when we voted for the 30 days, we should have voted to do away with the permits and just give them 30 straight days and finish.
But then in that case,
It's finished.
a shabby job, who's on the neighbor?
Okay. You know, you talk about the neighbors, so many spaces we can deal with. Hurricane comes, he goes to the neighbor's property, shame on us. You know, if he gets a good lawyer, he can come back and us too. Say, better nature, you know, it's good.
But Connie, Mayor, if I could go,
Yes,
not
sir.
everybody, what you said, that the county did give at least 6 months after the storm, did away with the permits. Yeah, did away with the permits, so the people had the opportunity to do their work without permits.
And what was done?
That's not on us, it's not that they didn't get the chance.
Right.
You know?
They had 6 months to get permit.
But what I'm saying is when we voted to give them 30 days, either you fix it or we demolish it, we should have done away with the permit. But then like he said, well, they have been done right.
Well,
They can't fix it without.
Right.
John, I'd like for you to work with Boyd, Mr. Sharpton, we get on a permit too, correct?
Yeah.
You know, to get your stuff, all your stuff. You need to get this stuff as soon as you can.
Correct, I'll check on his in the morning for.
Should get the call from him tomorrow.
Yeah, and I have all my permits. Like this permit process, I'm all for it because like Kip said, you make sure you have, it's a good, I mean, Mr. Charles looks over everything, and it can go well beyond that. The thing is, a permit from South Central Planning, when you get a permit, you have a set amount of days to put that permit into effect. And y'all will grant that, and I understand it by your choice, but you have 180 days to start the project. And the reason they do that is for, say, building a building. It takes 6 months to get everything together to do that. But and that permit can carry on for 2 years as long as they're doing progress. And that's what's stated in the law. But I'm all for the permit process, and I wasn't doing that first, and I was told, don't know the whole story, I was told to get one and kind of started this whole mess. You know, I'm to blame. But I'm just saying, it wasn't done before, and I'm for it after seeing it from the inside out. And like I said, I started in May. In June, I did drop the ball. By accident, I did drop the ball. Then I realized, okay, I need to get it. It don't happen overnight. Like Mr. Charles says, 2 days they review it, but then they send back information. You got to go back and forth, and it takes a few days to do it. And then you, like in both cases, you need an inspector or a whatever engineer to go out there and look. It takes time for that. But like, I'm all for possibly giving 30 days or 60 days to get a permit, not carry on for 6 months. But there is a process with the permit, and there is some faults in it, you know. I'm not knocking Grand Isle Shipyard nor South Central Planning. And they do work together. I talked to Mr. Charles, and they got a good system. So I'm not knocking South Central Planning system. It's almost like I was told, it should all be Grand Isle Shipyard or all be South Central Planning doing it, because then you would know from the beginning to the end. And the way it's two different organizations, unless it has to be ran that way, it kind of causes a conflict.
At the beginning, we learned too, we never went through this, that, I opened up the word. But at the beginning, we were just telling them, prepare it. Then the permitting came into play. That opened up the money.
Dude, long before Mark got a permit, I talked with South Central Planning about the permitting process. And now the whatever cut it short was dragging it out to where we are now. You know, what I mean, it is what it is, it's part of the process. Dotting the T's and crossing the I's.
And it's a good process. It really is. Yeah. But it's good in a small town like Wisconsin says, just give them 30 days, they do it, they don't. And there's so many opinions, you know, but like I said, if we could get something good, I think we would have a great process.
With our third-party people to do that for us.
Right.
Yeah. You know, we're hoping to get better.
Until God help us, Jesus.
Well, after the storm, when you gave it 6 months where you didn't need a permit,
Yeah.
that was a bad, probably.
You ain't the only one.
Yes, a lot of people did. And
Right.
we were all cleared out and we have some that's going on.
All right, thank God for your schedule, move forward. All right, sit down. You come back with a lot of information, huh?
Well, we're helping for y'all tonight, Brad.
Project status report, Mr. Meadow.
Tracy and me, so.
Not so much, it's been a long day for you, go get some rest.
Zero Bay 7, the bid, we want to close out the project. One of the things they said is artery, had a couple of clauses that were missing, in particular, how long that we have records of the project. So we have in front of me, we have amendment number 3, that is our contract with y'all to add those clauses into the contract. That is not any cost to y'all, it's just paperwork that the feds require.
Need a motion on that?
Yes, sir.
I'll move.
Move by
Second.
second by Nancy. Any questions, one time, two times, three times? Vote on Jody. Nancy.
Aye.
Kip, Connie. Ayes have it. Okay.
Okay, the FMA grant, which is the drainage in those 4 locations, we need to sign, we need council to authorize the mayor to sign the letter to GOSEP, requesting to move forward to phase 2 of the FMA grant. Phase 1 is the design, phase 2 is going to be construction. So once all that process goes and GOSEP accepts it, then we should be able to start advertising for that project.
I'm moving.
Mike,
I'll second.
Mike, second by Nancy. Any questions, one time, two times, three times? We'll go on Jody. Nancy.
Aye.
Kip, Connie. Ayes have it.
Thank you. The capital outlay project for the R1LC project. The council needs to consider approving a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign the resolution confirming the town has sufficient funds to cover its share in the amount of $540,000. We do not expect this project to cost the town $540,000. We expect it to cost the town probably around $300,000. But this is the maximum amount that we actually have for the grant. The town would be paying 25% of the project.
All right. Need a motion? Move by Mike. Second by Connie. Any questions, one time, two times, three times? Vote on Jody. Nancy.
Aye.
Kip, Connie. Ayes have it.
And as we take bids and move forward, y'all will know those numbers before y'all have to actually take them. FEMA preliminary flood maps received, notice Tracy sent another letter to FEMA last week, so I never heard back from there. And sewer phase 9, again, we've gotten a loan amount on that, but the town can't afford a loan, so we'll be looking for the grant.
All right. Any questions for John? Thank you.
Attendant report. Okay, BC 1084 is 204 West Street, that's Mr. George Jeroboam. Demolition cost on the property was $6,000, the legal and administrative fees was $1,017.50. So the total we spent on the property was $7,017.50. And I, as Mr. Jeroboam's notice to be heard as to why we shouldn't be required to particulars.
I have a question. I was called by Mr. Cameron right before the meeting, and he was told by to talk to the council, he would like to pay $200 a month till he pays it back, see if we're gonna do that. And all
On the
that.
schedule, Bonder, because he would call the town hall to see about setting up payment
I
arrangements.
mean,
But what
the
he
mayor has
told
to make the
us-
final decision, right?
What he told us was $50 or $100 a month, and we figured out how long that would take, and at $50 or $100 to pay off, which if you look at the schedule.
He told me,
see it's a lot.
right before the meeting, he wanted to go to 200.
I don't see it.
I don't think I would call that in the, he calls it out.
So if he pays $200 a month, that would take 35 months to pay off. Almost 3 years.
And then you can add other taxes and stuff on top of that.
You want to see it in larger than the regular day fee? You want to do it larger?
Yeah.
second by Mike. Any questions, Gerald?
Who would be the alternative if it's not accepted?
So the options would be to, I'm sorry, Mike.
No,
The options would be to put it on his taxes. So you have a tax bill of at least $7,000 this year. You would either pay it, or if he doesn't pay it, it goes to the tax sale. If that doesn't get paid, it would eventually be an adjudicated property, but at the end of the day, you would have to get somebody to bid to pay at least $7,000 in that property.
It might be take it, but maybe take it to her.
So the alternative would be to get him to sign a promissory note that you would pay, make monthly payments.
Like an interest free?
Correct.
it's not that good that far, we just want to.
Okay.
Motion and a second.
Any other questions, or vote on Jody?
Nay.
Nancy? Mike?
Aye.
The same, the next item is the same for Mr. Bruce for PC 1074. The demolition cost was $6,650. The legal and administrative fees were $1,020.86. So the total would be $7,670.86. Again, same, notice that you heard tonight, Mr. Bruce is involved.
So on the price, it says demolition. I tore down the house. Is this demolition considered debris pickup or? Okay, is there some type of list to show that? Because when I show demolition, that means y'all tore down the house, correct?
Yeah, I think that's the bid we received from the beginning to.
Yeah, he said you had a 20-yard dumpster. 11 is the quantity. I don't know exactly what that means.
If I remember too, we asked if he would reduce it because it was going down. He said he kept it the same because people put other stuff, if I remember correct.
Right.
So that's why he kept it at 60, 62 billion.
So other people place trash, so I gotta pay for it?
Which one?
You can work inside the roof, so.
I was told to do that.
Who told you to do that?
That was told to me by him, that from the beginning of the process, I started with the shed. I said, I would put it on the side of the road, where y'all pick it up.
They don't pay that,
Yes.
with the
Correct.
shed, with the shed.
But then I have another meeting, and I said, y'all told me I had 30 days, or May 30th, whatever it was.
They voted on that, I voted against that.
It doesn't matter who voted, who didn't.
Just letting you know.
The vote was the 30th. So I reached out and said, hey, does it still stand that
I
we
specifically
picked up?
tell you,
And I was
tear down the house
told,
and
yes.
put it on the side, I did not do it.
And I was told, yes, once again, I made a phone call to Ms. Tracy. I said, y'all heard this in the meeting, correct? She said, yes. Reached out to him, he said, yes. I reached out to you, you said, I heard him say it. Okay, so we go there, it's on the side of the road. I was told, I was told that this is okay.
I heard him say, we can go back to the minutes and see what I said.
We went back and he said it was gonna be.
I'm not saying anything about not paying for it. I understand what I did and didn't do. But y'all saying the price is staying the same for other people throwing it, and then, because my.
That's what the guy said, I mean, I don't know.
But I understand that that's what he said, but I was told to put it there and it would be picked up. I demoed the house, I paid for the equipment, I have all the receipts to show I paid for it, I have dates that I did it, I have pictures, I have everything. I literally have timestamp photos before we started the house, during the process of building the house, and after.
I just want to be clear, this was what they were gonna charge him to tear the house down.
Yes.
And now it's just to, and it's the same amount.
And you could avoid those, but no money, too much, so we did. And I think we did because it was, I don't know how you, what you could do, that they was looking at bringing involved and stay downtown. We need to get it out of there.
I have,
Okay, well, that, Ron, you can, cut you off.
I'm trying to find the text, yeah, ask him about the price.
I
I mean, since I'm just spitballing here, I mean, I don't think there's much we can do about the price, right, Mr. Attorney?
He said, I'm gonna have to stay with the same price, I will have to break it all up to put in dumpsters, and people are throwing more trash in it every day.
Appreciate it.
What I was gonna say is, with a payment plan, maybe since we just went over payment plan, I don't know.
See, why not? Did it for a couple other people, firemen and.
So I don't mind it, I understand. It wasn't done completely correct. Thought I was doing the right thing, but what I was told, I just not understand why I'm being charged for a demo that wasn't done right. Because I actually have messages from the same guy that did it, that was willing to charge me the same exact price that y'all have to do it outside of town. And that was for the whole house and the pickup.
That's kind of what I was getting at. I said, I don't see how we can change the price. I'm thinking, under the circumstances, all we can maybe do is offer you a payment plan, but I'm sorry to say. And that will have to be voted on. I'm just saying, just taking out loud here, like I said, it's been ball.
I understand. I showed up to almost everything I could. I did what y'all asked.
He did the right thing. He
I
did.
did. I just don't understand why I'm being charged for it. I came out of pocket everything I had. It's everything. I even came to y'all and said, look, this is what I can afford. Can y'all work with me? And that's what I was told. As long as you knock it down yourself. But it goes out, we'll have it picked up. Everything I had in pocket, I'm still paying on the credit card. I'm getting paying on this credit card for a while with this equipment and everything.
Don't maybe reapproach this contract and see if you want to negotiate.
It's been paid already.
It's already been paid, it's been paid by.
We can talk to
Maybe
them.
worth a try. You know, when this benefit being, he followed the rules to the T.
Right. He did the right thing. That's it.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He didn't worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, more, we should have,
All right.
it'd been better off just leaving it there and have to take care of
So
it.
you were here to watch your opinion about it and your concern, right? Outside of any other question?
Do we want to table it? We table George Carroll.
Oh, for the finance part, yeah. You gave me.
Yeah.
You go to the table.
I'll make that motion.
I
second.
I mean, that would help out. So.
All right, you go to give.
Think
I'll
on
motion to table the next meeting for Ron, for table plan. Give a second.
A second.
Second by Nancy. Any questions? One time, two times, roll, Jody. Nancy.
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Kid. John.
Next meeting, after the year as well.
Yeah, you can come, but we should have some information. We got to see anything.
And that would be August 3rd. That will be the second for yeah, it should have my updated.
You got email correspondence. Yeah, you emailed back and forth, I mean, on the you know, I guess.
Yeah, they have to email and they have to do my updated mailing address, but I don't want to lose that problem.
All right, Ron.
Thank you, Chris.
258-01-7.
017.
7.
Okay, thanks.
All right, there's 2 items on the agenda, possible executive session. I don't know if you want to go through them.
Motion to put it there in the meeting. Moved by Nancy. Second by Connie. Question one time, two times, three times, Jody. Nancy.
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Kid. Chief of Police.
We have the opportunity to work a few details. Everything is inside the town. I wasn't aware that I was supposed to let the council know or ask permission to work the details. A lot of times, the details are just kind of last minute calls. I didn't know if the officer can, y'all provide them. this is opportunity for overtime. Right now, we have, on occasion, work the bridge detail. They call us and they need traffic stopped or traffic detoured, and they ask us to work. We've also had the soccer fields, when they were doing soccer tournaments, we were asked to sit and, watch the soccer games, just be there in case something would happen. Kind of detoured stuff from happening. Another one is church details. We get calls, they're having a wedding, which the boss let just opened up, and when they serve alcohol, they have to have an off-duty officer. So it was brought to my attention that I did not ask permission, and I didn't let y'all know. We did go through our line to make sure that we were following, that everything was covered in the insurance. The clerks did know that we were doing it for, finance purposes and getting paid and how everything was gonna be taken care of. We saw paperwork through, both with the company and for them to send us, for us to send invoices for the department to be paid. So, I was just asked to put it on the agenda to bring it to your attention that we.
I gotta say, I didn't know either, because when I'm the one that got the phone call about security for the soccer games, and I called her direct, I said, look, these people want you to do it, details, an opportunity for the police department to make money. If y'all don't wanna do it, I'm gonna call it a pirate ship. But I don't, so, I mean, I wasn't aware of it either, but I think any time that you can make money, I mean, yeah, it's not costing us anything especially.
Well, I guess when you're dealing with baseball field, that's small, when you're dealing with a company, dealing with traffic on the road, that company with the price. We should have an agreement with the company. That's saying that we have to, if we take it down, on that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's gonna be a written agreement, it should be approved by the council. But it's a gray area, I couldn't find a direct answer on whether details in general needed to be approved by the council, but if there's gonna be a written agreement, it should be approved by the council.
And I don't, we don't have an
It's-
agreement in place, it's just invoice.
It's invoicing, and we do formal invoices, like send them I fill out the invoice for the police officer that's working it, send it to the company sends the checks, and we check with RMI to make sure that, it was covered and that everything was, the insurance was, we were covered for insurance, we were covered, the officers are doing their job. I mean, it's,
What charge an hour?
we charging $60 every shift for the unit, and then the officers are making $60 an hour.
$20,
No,
$60.
$60 flat rate for the unit, every time we work it, and then $60 an hour for the officers.
What you charged us when they came in town? When part of police, like, for example, part of police came work in town, what was that rate?
I don't know. That was before the holiday. The company is paying
$60
Paying the
for the
officer.
unit and the office.
$60
Each.
flat for the unit.
$60.
So then every time the unit is used, every time an officer works it,
The town
However,
pays $60
for the unit.
$60 flat rate for the unit, $60
per
hour per officer.
But is it taking an officer away from going back?
It's an officer, it's an officer.
I was just looking like an apples and oranges comparison, like,
And I don't understand what you mean, like, for our police.
well, when we had to come working down, I was just comparison shopping what we had to pay and.
But that has nothing to do with, this is the company paying, we're not, the town is not paying the officer, the company is paying.
I just kind of what the numbers with each other, if it was similar or not. Like to say if it was apples, oranges, orange,
The price is being charged.
The price being charged, but we're charged if this is comparison to what it is. Not like I'm against it, just say it's a client has to make money, but I was just wondering,
supervisor, the attorney, dealing with his contractor, I think, what happened?
Best case, perfect world, we have an agreement.
Now, as far as before, this and that, I mean, that's.
Right. And that's why I say it's a gray area, and it kind of depends
So when
on
you deal with a big company, then you
case
gotta
by case.
And is it gonna be a unilateral approval, or does she have to come to the council every time?
That's up to the council. I mean, we can come up with a
Don't you come
a
up with
template agreement, you know, that we just have the agreement and just fill in the blank type stuff.
She just needs to feel like.
I see that.
Let it come to the, we can work with this. It's already before.
You're gonna push out or you'll think that it's.
I mean, she shouldn't have to wait, if there's a detail that comes up, she shouldn't have to wait till immediately.
Yeah.
I would agree with you, I would agree with you. Yeah, I would agree with you.
That's all, we just need agreement to take the town.
Yeah.
It's they students for anything. You know, not against it, I don't think none of us against it. But it's good for all of us to know what's going on.
Engineer sign off on that, that
Right.
you reason like Mike said, but yeah,
Yes,
that's,
This motion to, this authorize the attorney to come up with agreement to the chief of police for detail work. Motion made by Mike, second by Nancy, any other questions? One time?
Go ahead.
One time?
Go ahead.
Which guy? You good? All right, we're going on with Jody. All right, Nancy?
Aye.
All right, chief, thank you. Thank you, bro.
The other thing on my agenda is, donation of police vehicles. East Baton Rouge County Sheriff's Office donates their used vehicles, their gently used vehicles. So this is like vehicles that, they rotate their vehicles often. So some of them have like 40,000 miles on them. They offered us 4 units, which we don't need 4 units. We only need to replace the 2 black units and a white unit. I spoke to the captain at the department who would be in charge of that. And he's supposed to be sending me some details, which I thought I was gonna get it last week, but, he didn't send it yet. He was working on getting 2 units now, and then later on, 2 more units. These are, some are from patrol, they come fully dressed, everything on them. The only thing that we would need to replace the stickers and move our cameras from our units to the new units.
It's free, it's, I'll make a motion for accept.
Motion made by Mike to move forward with the chief's recommendation. Need a second?
I'll second.
Second by Jody. Any further questions?
well, wait on that.
Yukon, Jody.
Aye.
Nancy.
Aye.
Keith, Tommy, aye, thank you, chief.
So like two for sure.
All right, then move to the business. Usually, the American Idol project, senior citizen travel, estimate completed 6/3/26. Project obligated, council to consider authorizing the mayor to enter and sign an agreement with Emulate Design for the scope of development of this project and monitor $13,600. I guess what it is, Pratt really has investors in it, and it didn't be properly controlled. And I thought this might help get a third party involved where all the people work in line, because people are gonna come back and access all of this. So this is like, it's like,
I'll say.
Any further questions, Yukon, Jody? Nancy?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Yes. Swimming pool, pump house, swimming pool, bath house, alternate project, waiting approval, continue the alternate project. Council, Mr. Sheriff, any hesitation?
Yeah, they had a couple of trucks in town that they come, they got boosted, so it's still. I think they can make a sweep to a little weather. They will go back 2 weeks, so they can fire.
Thank you. Thank you, prior to water district, Eddie, waiting on your print call, waiting for you. I think everybody had, an email, a couple of emails, like, from Wayne, I put Wayne, their brother. But, after researching existing, sewer
we talked about it at last meeting, you know, they put some,
Yeah.
can we put this on?
A mattress, did you see that? They somebody put a mattress.
Yeah. I mean, because it's on, you know,
And we just always said that maybe we have an ordinance for track. If we see someone putting their weekend at their big cover, you can't do that. It's like-
They have.
If you see it, if you see it, and then they come back and do it again, it's like,
Yeah.
you know.
But it's to see them and it's to know who, to prove that they put it.
Well, you have to catch it.
Yeah.
But maybe it's on like that.
They might, because Park Street, the man put a sign and nobody's ever putting it, you know, it's like.
Okay.
Or maybe, the town Facebook page as well.
Well, so my comment was gonna be just like what the mayor has said, and I asked you, okay, you put it here, if you're gonna put it there, you put it there.
Yeah, right.
Just get stencils and paint it all along this wall.
Yeah.
Good enough.
They-
We have to try to solve it, and if it
They
keeps
got lots
getting
of
out of hand, maybe we can get somebody to sign it. We decide what the word give us.
Oh, yeah, if they get a ticket for it.
I mean, the second with the issue of that video, like, a lot of them,
I agree with you, you know, and I agree with what Mike said, you know what I'm saying? But there's an area where it's a very hot spot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, put it there. You get it south, you know, get it south on the hot spots.
Okay.
Say that if you have no signs at all, then it's not, you're not telling that they can put. If you put two or three of them, then you can refer to that sign
Or
regardless.
maybe we put the word no dumping along the seawall.
See, on each sign that you place.
With that one. And then we shall get back and
No
read.
problem, you know, and then
And music Facebook as well.
Yes.
we're just fine. Bryce, that would fall on the ordinance, right?
I think you should put the ordinance, I don't know if it is offhand, but I know we have the ordinance.
Isn't the ordinance about the dumping for building? You know,
Sorry.
what it says? Whoever would get dumping, you're gonna get fined, but you can become to your court.
Correct.
You sure it falls under the statute of law.
We look, the parish puts them across the bar in the plant, and they have their ordinance.
That's what we need to do. Just care of.
I would suggest putting on each end of the corporation, no dumping, allow them on the seawall. Anybody coming into town, same way.
All right, then, the motion prosecution.
Well, next, because we do have a
Let's
law.
get it, let's get it, good writing on the sign.
Help us out.
What do you know, they didn't do it, clear, right? Okay, do, business council consider approving the June budget and actual finance